Hey guys, Parfax here. Today I have a really fun build video for you. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, originally when I started Elder Scrolls, I mained basically two classes. First and foremost was my Magic Sorcerer, which I played more time on than any other of my classes. And then second was my Stamina Nightblade. I did play just about everything, but those were the two classes I really spent a lot of time on. When I originally left ESO, the Stamina Nightblade was the class that I probably played more than any other one. I was really enjoying it. Since I've come back, I really haven't enjoyed it that much. Not that the class has, it's bad or has changed that much. I just couldn't get into the playstyle, and I wasn't really finding a playstyle that I really enjoyed anymore. But that has changed. So this build came about because I've been wanting to do a Nightblade build, stamina version. I did do a pretty good Magic Nightblade build that was kind of budget. This one's not budget. It's not that expensive, but it's definitely not budget. And I just enjoy the class, or at least I used to, and I really wanted to find a way to play the build that I enjoyed. So as you probably saw, I am running a Bow Nightblade. Now I'm actually running Bow, as you can see here. And first let's go over the gear and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So first we're gonna start with the two-piece helm, which I'm not running one. I'm running Balrogs and Veladrith just because they give me some weapon damage. I do have Impen on both. You probably will, for this build, you're going to want Divines, but I didn't want to go ahead and change them because then I'd have to just change them right back. But Impen's not bad either. It's going to make you a little bit more tanky, give you some critical resistance. But for this build, I really like Divines. You're not really looking to brawl with anybody with this build. Okay. If you want to substitute out Balrogs, you can actually do Slime Crawl. Slime Crawl is pretty good, just gives you like a flat 5% bonus. But I do like the two single pieces there for the weapon damage. Okay, so we're gonna go to my front bar. Front bar, we're running Clever Alchemist. Now, Clever Alchemist gives you the highest weapon damage of any set for its 5-piece bonus, but it only gives it to you for 20 seconds. So you've really got to work on timing this set. But when you do, it is absolutely insane. I'm also running my Crown Poisons. I've stacked them up so many times because I've never used them, but decided to go ahead and put them on. You can run, other poisons that are a little better. I really like these just because I have them. You can also run a Glyph if you don't want to waste money on the poisons. I would probably go maybe like a Poison Glyph, or something similar to that, maybe Oblivion for a little bit of true damage. But it's really good. You could use a Stamina Absorb enchant, which I typically like, but I don't really like on this build particularly, mainly just because this build you shouldn't need to sustain. You're really looking at trying to burst somebody down pretty quickly. So front bar, we have the Clever Alchemist. We are running bow, chest, gloves, and belt. Doesn't really matter, just 5 pieces on your front bar. You do want to make sure that you have the Clever Alchemist bow on your front bar, and I have it sharpened. So my second piece, the second 5-piece set we're going to run is Marksman. This set's really good. It gives you stamina recovery, weapon damage, and it reduces the cost of your stamina abilities by 5%. It increases the damage of your bow abilities against players by 8%. So this is pretty huge. There's some other sets that might give you a little bit more damage, but they don't give you as much recovery, and this still gives you some weapon damage on top of it. I think it's a great set if you want to use a bow. You can argue there's a few other sets you can run that maybe you can Tats we got an extra little bit of damage from, but I really like this set because of the cost reduction. Okay, so next we're going to talk about my back bar. My back bar, I'm running the Master's Bow. The reason why I love this bow so much is if you have a poison injection, that's the morph that I use, or any poison arrow, on your target, you get 782 weapon and spell damage. Well, weapon damage, because you get the enchant from Master's Bow. But that's insane. Mind you, this is the best 5-piece set in the game for straight weapon damage. It gives it to you for 20 seconds, and it gives you 651 plus 124. So it basically gives you're getting the bonus from the Clever Alchemist, 100% uptime with this master's bow. That's pretty insane. You know, you have to swap back every 5 seconds if you want to keep up your enchant. And of course I'm using infused because I got to pump that up as much as possible. But it's really a no-brainer for me, especially with the way this build is. And you're going to see it works really well. And it kind of makes up for a little bit of the time when your Clever Alchemist is down. This just pumps your weapon damage so high that you actually don't need your Clever Alchemist to proc to actually kill people. Now, if you don't want to run Clever Alchemist, you can run New Moon. New Moon would be just fine, or your set of choice. New Moon I just picked because it's a really easy craftable set, just like Clever Alchemist. But New Moon is just as good. It's going to give you a bit more sustained damage because you're going to have it up more. It's going to basically negate, actually it will negate the cost reduction on your marksman. And but it's still going to give you some pretty big damage. But I like Clever Alchemist a little bit more for that extra burst. Okay, I am running Divines. You want to run Divines on all your pieces, like I said. It's just going to give you the big damage. We are running the Warrior Mundus Stone to pump our weapon damage super high. It's really good. I'm running Infused Jewelry, everything. I should probably upgrade this, but you really don't need it. You guys won't see this, but I actually recorded this video before, and when I recorded it, when I went to show that I'm running a Wood Elf, I didn't have any of my racial passive slotted. So that's going to prove that it doesn't matter what race you can go. You can go a Breton, you can go any race you want, and this build is going to absolutely shred. So all the clips you see is going to be with me having no points into my racial passives. So keep that in mind when you're watching it. Okay, now that we went over the gear, let's go over the skills. So we're going to start here on the back bar. We're running Dawnbreaker, Smiting. You can run the other morph. It's going to give you a little bit more weapon damage. But what I like about this is it's not only offensive, it's defensive. It can give you that big stun you need. It can still, you know, if people get up close and personal to you, you can give them, you know, the Dawnbreaker, Smiting. It's typically the PvP ultimate. Does more damage just off of its smiting itself. It's really good. You can run the other one if you want, if you never plan on getting close to people, but you'll find, especially in Battlegrounds, it's just impossible to stay away from everybody. Then, of course, running Shadowy Disguise, you know, get that crit. Leeching Strikes, pretty self-explanatory, along with Vigor. We are running Reaper's Mark. This ability is pretty insane. It heals you when someone dies, gives you Major Berserk. It rips their spell and weapon or physical resistance, and it allows you to chain some kills off. It gives you the heal you need. It's huge. You might see in some of these clips, I don't know. I mean, you'll see it proc, but I get low sometimes. I rip off a kill, and then I'm almost back to full. It's just insane. And then it gives you Major Berserk on top of it once you've killed somebody. It's pretty crazy. This just skill's great. I love it. And then we're running Poison Injection to get that, you know, Master's Bow proc. Even if I wasn't running the Master's Bow, if you don't have it, I still love this ability. I can't tell you how many times I've killed somebody off a fully charged heavy attack into a Poison Injection. It's an built-in execute dot. It's a big dot. I love the skill. I don't know why people don't use it more. So front bar, this is where it gets a little spicy and you have a little bit of flex room on it. Again, we're running Dawnbreaker. The class ultimates, they don't really have anything good for what we're doing. They're all melee, and yeah, this is melee, but it's a little bit more ranged. Deathstroke's only good if you can get really close to somebody. So that's why we're running Dawnbreaker on both bars. If you like something else, you want to run the bow ultimate, go right ahead. But so of course we're running Relentless Focus. Now, this might seem a little weird, running Killer's Blade, but what I found is there's a passive here, I think it's Pressure Points. Yeah, it gives you crit while you have an assassin ability slotted, so we're getting extra crit for it. And I actually did execute a few people with it. It gave me that extra, you know, pressure to really finish someone off if they're close to me. Because, you know, people are going to get close to you. There's a lot of stand builds out there. They're going to try to get up in your face. And you're going to, you know, you might be happy you have this on your bar whenever you kill somebody. You don't want to use it, you can swap it out for maybe another fighter skilled ability. If you want to run Shade, Shade would probably be a great place to swap that out if you don't like it. Or you can swap out this, because I'll show you here in a second why you can possibly swap this out. but I really do like this ability. So this is going to give us major savagery, which we really don't need. I'll show you that, why here in a second. But it's also going to give you minor berserk if you deal critical damage from an enemy's flank. Increases your damage by 5%. Yet another way to increase our weapon damage and just increase the damage we're doing in general. Okay, and of course we have snipe. We're taking focused aim. This is just going to shred the resistances even more. It's going to give the minor breach. Reaper's Mark is going to give major breach. We're just going to shred them. It's just really good. And then the star of the build, and I'm not kidding you, and it's Magnum Shot. Magnum Shot is insane. Now, to kind of tell you the rotation that I do with this, after we're done talking about this and then a little bit else, and you'll just see why it's really good. You're going to see in the clips how good Magnum Shot is. Okay, another important thing, let's talk about food. I'm running just some takeaway broth. Just gonna give you the main stats you need: a little health, a little stamina, a little recovery. And then I'm running weapon power potions. If you notice, we don't have a way to get major brutality. And this is how we're gonna get it. If you don't have the Master's Bow, you can probably run a 2H back bar strictly for rally. Maybe take off poison injection. You have poison injection, run rally, then you have a bow two-hander, but you're using the bow for your main damage instead of the two-hander. And then what you can do then, if you really want to, you can Dawnbreaker from that bar, because it will do a little bit more damage, because the two-hander does have more weapon damage than the bow. But that's just an option. But I love the bow for the poison injection. You can give that ranged weapon damage you can get from it. It's insane. We are running, like I said, the weapon power potions. We have the brutality, the savagery, and restores stamina. You don't really need the savagery. That's why I kind of said that you can swap off Camouflage Hunter. But one reason why I do like it is because you will get the major savagery when you're on your back bar. I do kill a lot of people on my back bar, even though it is infused, because I will swap back. I'll do a heavy attack, poison injection, and a lot of times I'll just kill them by themselves. Okay, so how you want to play this build is there a mammoth up over here? There is. Okay, so I'll kind of show you how you play this, because it's a little bit different than a typical play style. We're just going to buff. We're going to get stealth. We're going to swap to our front bar. We're going to hit our potion. Now, you're going to do this faster, of course, but I'm just kind of explaining it as you go. You're going to mark them. You're going to fully charge heavy attack into a poison injection, snipe, magnum shot. That is going to kill most of your targets, and then you can just execute them down. So it's really good. It does so much damage. You're going to see it. That's nice. I got to lead. You're going to see how much damage it does. It's pretty crazy. So that's pretty much it. I do have all my points into stamina, because we're just pumping that damage up as much as we can. I'm not going to go over champion points, because you're not going to need them for Battlegrounds. I may do a Cyrodiil build with it, because I am really liking it. Maybe do like a ganker build or a small group build, because it's been so much fun. Now, a little side note, I did mention you can do like new moons, slime crawl. Also, if you do the 2H back bar, I would swap out the crit potions. I would swap it out for tripods. You will run out of magic when you're trying to stealth away, because you don't have that much magic, which is part of the reason why I didn't use Shade, because I'm using my cloak so much that Shade is kind of hard to use with this playstyle, because with the fact that we're running Divines and we're running here the Warrior Mundus Stone, we're pretty squishy. Now, I even fought some builds where I was fighting the Vaestram staff, and we literally were just battling out. He put it on me, the beam of light, beam of death, and we battled it out, and I beat him in a 1v1. And when I was done, because I have Reaper's Mark, I was almost full health. It's pretty insane. The build has so much power. I didn't even play it, that well. I had some moments where I was like really good, but I hit my pots on my back bar. It's not the easiest build in the world to run. If you want to make it easier, like I said, if you just swap out Clever Alchemist for New Moon, it's going to do basically exactly the same thing, but it's going to be a little bit more new player friendly. I do love the Master's Bow. If you don't know where to get it, you can just go to DSA. It's really easy when you run it on normals. Pretty much anybody, you can do it with no CP and all crafted gear or all overlands gear. You could complete it with a full group of people. So get out there, do it. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, you know, get that bow, make it infused, and have some fun. Sorry about that. The audio got kind of bugged there, so I had to redo it. That's why we're kind of in a different location. I didn't notice until I was editing. But just wanted to let you guys know that there are PvP clips coming up after this, and to like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. You know, all those good things. Comment down below whether you want to see me do a Cyrodiil video or any other video. Let me know what your favorite sets are in the bow Nightblade, or what other bow characters you like to run. Again, thanks for watching. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you out there. Bye!